It's time to be discussing a very important topic, which is training and education, and how this leads to a new era or opening new doors for mega projects here in Egypt. In few days, Egypt, we will be celebrating the inauguration of the new Suez Canal, and of course, this is the most important project Egypt has launched so far, and Egypt is looking forward to other projects in the upcoming period. But of course, this requires training and education, and we need to be ready for these projects. In order to discuss this further, we are very much delighted to have with us Dr. Maggie Nassif, Executive Director at the Fulbright Commission here in Egypt. Good to have you with us, Dr. Maggie.
Here again. Thank you.
We'll take a short break. Then after the break, we'll be discussing the topic of training, how important it is for the projects Egypt is going to be launching in the near future, and of course, the new Suez Canal project. Right after the break. Stay with us.
تعيش يا بلدي وتتعافي طول ما ولادك صاينين عهدك ولا عمرك ابدا حتخافي. تحيا مصر ويحيا عسكرك وتعيش يا بلدي وتتعافي طول ما ولادك صاينين عهدك ولا عمرك ابدا حتخافي. تحيا
Welcome back. Now, Dr. Maggie, let's start with the role of the Fulbright Commission here in Egypt in training and education in general. Let's shed more light on that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for having me. Fulbright Egypt has been here for 65 years. We are celebrating our 65th anniversary, and over the last 65 years, we've trained over 5,000 Egyptians, sending Egyptians to the U.S. to get master's degrees, PhDs, train mid-career professionals, and we also have programs for technical education to train workers or technicians. They study at community colleges.
This is very much needed right now.
Yes, exactly, and especially with the creation of the new ministry for technical education. Yes. We've trained over the last 5 or 6 years about 800 technicians who go to the U.S., study at community colleges, and come back to work in Egypt, including a program for the deaf and hard of hearing. And that was part of what we call the Community College Initiative, CCI. So Fulbright has historically had a role in training the Egyptian workforce, also hosting American students and scholars, professors who come to teach and do research in Egypt, and work with Egyptian professors to work on curriculum and program development. And we continue to support training the Egyptian workforce, and so mega projects like you mentioned are very much in line with the mission of Fulbright in Egypt, and we're very excited to be part of the preparation for that. Talking about economic reform, the very definition of a robust economy is full employment. So training the workforce for jobs is something that we're very proud to be part of.
Okay, I'm very much interested now to know how you personally joined Fulbright, because Women's World is all about successful Egyptian women. So I'd like to shed more light also on your career in Fulbright.
Well, I started working at the Fulbright Commission in October of 2014. So I've only been with the Commission about a year, just under a year. Prior to that, I spent 20 years in the United States working in universities in different capacities as an instructor and a professor. I taught the English literature, I taught Middle Eastern literature, feminist literature, writing skills, English as a second language. I'm an English major by training. And then I went into education management, and that's when I started getting my MBA, and worked on federally funded projects to promote international education. I've run programs for American students in Morocco, in Jordan, here in Egypt, and just really enjoyed working with students, and especially learning foreign languages and international education, learning about the other. I believe that if we educate people, then they can take care of themselves. They can bring about their own economic prosperity. They can understand conflict and help resolve conflict. They can, whether we're talking about bringing American students to the Middle East or taking Egyptian students to America, I think that Egypt has a great potential with 90 million almost in population. This can be a huge power, a workforce power, the power of demographics. We can make it into a resource for Egypt, and this is the history of Egypt, you know, building not just Egypt but the whole region with all the workforce, you know, sending teachers, sending engineers to build roads, doctors, workers, blue-collar workers. Everybody has a place to go and do good and bring back money. And so talking about mega projects in Egypt, you know, like the Suez Canal, which we talked about prior to recording, is just something that we have several programs in Fulbright to cater for. So we have programs for Egyptian students to go and get a master's degree. And we are currently emphasizing STEM. We have all specialities, but especially STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. We have scholarships, fully funded scholarships for people to get their master's degrees. We have the community college initiative that I told you about for people who have graduated from technical institutes in technology, mechanical, engineering and mechanical skills, nursery, school teachers, hotel and hospitality, so diverse specialities. They go and they spend a year at a community college in the U.S. They can even enhance their English, and they can come back. And we have success stories. We have people who have worked for airline, like Egypt Air. We have people who have worked in different organizations and have come back and been promoted. And so we have success stories. In addition, we have a program, the Hubert Humphrey, for mid-career professionals. And this is not so much an academic as much as a a hands-on and networking opportunity. So we recruit among government as well as private sector, mid-career managers or professionals who can go take a few courses. They also do an internship, hands-on experience. They visit institutions similar to where they work here in Egypt. So if they are say if they work in a factory as a manager, they go and visit similar factories. If they work for the government at a department or a ministry, they go and they visit similar ministries in the US, and they network.
That's
and
very
they come
important.
back with experience.
But I would like to build on your previous answer regarding the education of people. Could you please tell me briefly, because I want to focus on the education of women and girls, and how this is relevant to a news item that I read about the partnership between the United States and Britain in educating girls in developing countries. This is very much relevant to what we are talking about, and the importance of educating girls and women, especially when it comes to new projects and new opportunities here in Egypt. How do you see that?
Well, we at Fulbright recruit for certain demographics, and we are open, of course, to everybody to apply. But in general, you tend to have boys and men, especially in engineering and in math and science. And so we look for girls who are studying math and science and engineering. We look for women applicants, especially from underserved areas outside Cairo and Alexandria.
Yes.
We recruit specially for girls.
Yes.
And I think there are a lot of projects, like you said, partnership projects where they give. There's a program that we are not working on right now, but our partners are working on to give MBAs to women, you know, to support women. And this is because women, you know, they are obviously 50% of the population, and they need to be in the workforce, and they are in the workforce. And historically, women have always been.
They need to be more encouraged, and they need more support, of course, and perhaps Fulbright can play a major role in this regard.
Of course.
Well, I would like to thank you very much to Dr. Maggie Nassif, Executive Director at Fulbright Commission in Egypt. Thank you very much for being with us today in Women's World.
Thank you, Hala.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We'll be meeting you again next week, same time. Till then.